Hello students, welcome to another session of science. Today we are going to start chapter 2, Is matter around us pure? In the last chapter of chemistry, that is chapter 1, matter in our surroundings, we studied what is a matter and we studied physical states of matter. In this chapter, we are going to study in much more detailed way about matter. Students, you know that things which we are consuming in our day to day life are available in such packets, and in some of the packets it is mentioned pure. For common person, pure means that the thing is without adulteration, but for a scientist all these things are not pure, even if there is no adulteration in it. For a scientist, all these things are mixtures. Consider milk. For us, that is for common people, if it is without adulteration, then it is pure milk. But for scientists, it is a mixture of water, fats, proteins, etc. If scientist says something pure, then it means that all the particles of that substance are chemically same. That is, for scientists, a pure substance consists of single type of particle. Let us start with matter. Students, you know that anything which occupies space and having mass is called matter. Now, the matter which we see around us can be categorized into two categories, pure matter and impure matter. Pure matter can be divided into two categories, that is elements and compounds, and impure matter is called a mixture. Again, these mixtures are of two types, homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture is called solution and heterogeneous mixtures are of two types, suspension and colloidal mixture, or you can say solution. So let us study about all this in detail one by one. First of all, let us understand what is pure and impure matter. Pure matter is called substance and impure matter is called mixture. For example, if you take water from anywhere, say prepared in laboratory or rainwater or water which you are using for drinking purpose, each drop of water taken from anywhere will be having same property, same chemical nature. But if you add salt in it, then it will be having property of water as well as of salt. So it is a mixture. So students, I hope now you have understood what is the difference between a pure substance and a mixture. Water is a compound, it is pure, whereas salt water is impure, it is a mixture. First of all, let us study about pure matter, that is elements and compounds. So what is an element? A substance composed of a single kind of atom is called an element. So we can say that an atom is the smallest unit of the element and an element is made up of same kind of atoms. You can see in the diagram, same kind of atoms are there for a particular element. Element cannot be broken down into another substance by chemical or physical means. Means it cannot be changed by any chemical or physical way. For example, if you take a wire made up of aluminium and you cut it into small pieces, no matter how small that piece will be, all the pieces will have same property because they are made up of same type of atom. So this aluminium is element. Same way iron, copper, oxygen, hydrogen, all these are the examples of the elements. Another pure substance is compound. So what is a compound? A substance in which two or more different elements are chemically bonded together is called a compound. So in a compound, two or more elements are chemically bonded in a fixed proportion. This you have to keep in mind that in a compound, elements are bonded together in a fixed proportion. For example, water. Water is a compound made up of hydrogen and oxygen, that is two elements. Hydrogen and oxygen are combining together and water is formed. In water, two atoms of hydrogen combine with one atom of oxygen and a molecule of water is formed. So water is a compound. Compounds. Compound is a pure substance made up of two or more elements combined chemically in a definite ratio, that is, in a definite proportion, or you can say in a fixed proportion. Now let us study the characteristics of a compound. First one, the properties of a compound differ from those of its constituents, which means that property of water, which is made up of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen, is different from the property of hydrogen as well as from the property of oxygen. Second, compounds has fixed melting point and boiling point. That is, each and every compound is having fixed melting point and boiling point. Third one, compound is a homogeneous substance. We are going to study about homogeneous substance later in the next topic. Fourth, constituent elements can be separated by chemical process. So, if we consider the example of water, then the constituent elements of water are hydrogen and oxygen. So, hydrogen and oxygen from water can be separated by chemical methods. So, these are the properties or characteristics of a compound. Now, let us study about impure matter, that is a mixture. So, what is a mixture? Two or more elements or compounds not chemically combined. So, in a mixture, two or more elements or compounds are there, but they are not combined chemically, and the proportion of elements or compounds is not fixed. For example, if we consider air, air is a mixture of gases, dust particles, smoke particles, etc. But is the proportion of smoke particles, dust particles fixed in air? No, it differs from place to place. So, air is a mixture in which the proportion of its constituents is not fixed. If the mixture is uniform, then it is called homogeneous, and if it is not uniform, then it is called heterogeneous. That we are going to study in types of mixtures. Mixtures can be separated into their components by chemical or physical means. Means you can separate the components of mixtures by chemical or physical methods. So, mixture. It is made up of two or more elements or compounds mixed in any proportion. Means the proportion is not fixed. Properties of mixture. It may be heterogeneous or homogeneous. These are the types of mixtures. The properties of constituent substances are retained. Means the substances present in the mixture have their own property. No new compound is formed. So, during the formation of mixture, new compound is not formed. Constituents of a mixture can be separated by simple physical process. So, by using simple physical processes, the substances from a mixture can be separated. It does not have fixed melting point or boiling point. So, these are the properties of a mixture. Students, let us see the difference between a mixture and a compound. Mixture. Constituents combine in any ratio to form a mixture. Means the proportion of constituents is not fixed in a mixture. Compound. Constituents combine in fixed ratio to form a compound. Means the proportion of constituents in a compound is fixed. Second, constituents retain their properties. In a compound, constituents do not retain their properties as a new substance is formed. So, in a mixture, new substance is not formed, but in a compound, new substance is formed. Third, constituents can be separated by physical processes. Compounds, constituents cannot be separated by physical processes. For this, chemical processes are required. If it is asked for 2 marks and you have to write 4 points, then you can include the fourth point as in mixtures, boiling point and melting point is not fixed. But in compounds, their boiling point and melting point is fixed. Now we are going to study types of mixtures. You know that mixtures are of two types, homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous, homo means same, and heterogeneous, hetero means different. This you have to keep in mind while studying homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. Homogeneous mixtures. components of the mixture are distributed uniformly. Means in homogeneous mixture, the components are distributed uniformly, that is same distribution is there. One sample of mixture is exactly same as another. It is often called a solution. Here in the example you can see that Kool-Aid powder is mixed with water. The powder is distributed evenly throughout the glass and one sip is same as the next. Not only this powder, but if you mix any powder in water, it will get distributed evenly and one sip will be same as another. Heterogeneous mixtures. Components of mixtures are not distributed uniformly. That is, the distribution of components in a mixture is not same. Constituents of mixture differ from sample to sample. So for homogeneous mixture, if you take sample from one place and if you take sample from another place, the contents of the mixture will be different. They won't be same. For example, fruit salad is a heterogeneous mixture. The fruits are not distributed uniformly throughout the bowl. Each scoop you take will be different from the next one. We also have solid fruit and liquid juice visible separately. So, fruit salad is a heterogeneous mixture. Students, from this diagram it will be very clear to you how the components are arranged in homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. You can see in homogeneous mixture uniform distribution is there, whereas in heterogeneous mixture uniform distribution is not there. The examples of homogeneous mixture are air, steel, wine, rain, etc. And the examples of heterogeneous mixture are ice water, cereals in milk, soil, oil and vinegar, etc. Difference between homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture, it has uniform composition throughout its mass. Heterogeneous mixture, it does not have uniform composition throughout its mass. Second, it has no visible boundaries of separation between various components. So, if you consider mixture of sugar and water, the boundaries of separation cannot be seen. Second, it has visible boundaries of separation between various constituents. If you consider a mixture of water and oil, the boundaries are clearly visible. Third, the constituents of a homogeneous mixture cannot be seen easily. They consist of only one phase. For example, sugar and water mix together to form homogeneous mixture. In heterogeneous mixture, the constituents of heterogeneous mixture can usually be seen easily. They consist of more than one phase. For example, mixture of water and sand is a heterogeneous mixture. Students, if it is asked for 2 marks and you have to write 4 points, you can consider example as the 4th point over here. So students, with this we conclude our lecture. Let us recall what we studied in this lecture. Matter, which can be in solid, liquid or gaseous state, can be divided into two categories: pure matter, which is called substance, and mixture. Pure substances are of two types: elements and compounds. Mixtures are also of two types: homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. An element cannot be broken down into simple substances, for example, iron, oxygen, etc. A compound has fixed composition and can be broken down. So, in a compound, the proportion of components is fixed. Example, water, salt, etc. Homogeneous mixture. It is a mixture having uniform composition. Example, water plus sugar, water plus alcohol, etc. Heterogeneous mixture. Mixture having non-uniform composition is called heterogeneous mixture. For example, sugar plus sand, water plus oil, etc. So students, we studied this much in this lecture. We'll continue with other topics in next lecture.